What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Guys, we're back here in Australia and we got 50 things that are only
Only
possible.
possible.
Only possible. What do you think is only possible in Australia?
Healthcare.
Healthcare. Well, healthcare is possible everywhere.
Cheap, free.
It's a little expensive here, but it's possible. It's here. It just costs you that ching ching, you know what I'm saying? But there's a lot of things possible everywhere.
Yeah.
But Australia is in a class of its own because there are things in Australia that is like, I ain't seen that here. So
Maybe some clear water.
clear water,
Clear beaches.
clear, actually beaches that you can swim in and not get a bacteria infection or something like that. But we checked this out, see when it's about my wife's first time. She clocking in on her Australian journey. She been on that Love Island, Australia. So I'm like, hey, you need to check out more than just Love Island. It's more than it. I'm telling you, it's beautiful, it's lovely. So but let's check this out. Oh, that's loud. That was
Okay,
loud.
it's pop quiz time. Which country has the longest fence in the world? How about the second largest Greek population? 3 times more sheep than people? Okay, one word will give it away. Kangaroos! Yeah, I'm talking about the land down under. So, what do you know about Australia? So, let's start with the name. Australia comes from the Latin word australis, which means
Australis.
southern. Way back in the 2nd century, there were legends of a mysterious Terra Australis incognita, or unknown southern land. Well, now it's very known, so let's get to know more about it. Despite the stereotypes of hot, sunny weather year-round, the Australian Alps, which are the highest mountain range in the
Alps.
country, get more snow than the Swiss Alps do. Better grab your skis. The world's longest national highway is in Australia. It stretches for over 9,000 miles. For comparison,
That's
the
long.
Earth's diameter is about 7,900 miles. It's actually a network of highways that connects all capitals of the mainland states. Now, I'm sure you've heard of the Great Wall of China, but what about the Great Fence of Australia? Okay, that's not what it's called, but still, the Dingo Fence in southeast Australia stretches for nearly 3,500 miles. For comparison, it would easily cover the entire span of the U.S., from Los Angeles to Houghton, Maine.
Dang.
Oh,
Now,
wow.
it might not be so surprising to know that Australia is huge. It's about the same size as the continental U.S., about 2,500 miles wide. The distance from the west to east coast is further than Barcelona to Moscow.
Dang.
In all, Australia is the world's 6th
Look at
largest
that. That's
country
nice.
and the only one that's also a whole continent. But with all that territory, over 80% of Australians live within 60 miles of the coast. This makes the country one of the most coastal dwelling
that. That's
populations
nice.
in the world. And that means a whole lot of beaches. In fact, they have so many that if you decided to visit a new beach every day, it would take you almost 30 years to see them
Dang.
all. The biggest property
That would be crazy, right? Go on a whole
A new
journey.
beach every single day for 30 years.
30 years.
That's crazy.
That would be a nice little 30-year journey. Hey, let's go to every beach out
in
here.
Australia is about 40,000 square miles in area. South Korea could fit into it with room to spare. The country's termites are busy building huge properties as well. Their mounds are the tallest animal-made structures on this planet. Before humans arrived, the continent was home to megafauna. If you lived there
Megafauna?
about 46,000 years ago, you'd be dead today. But you would
For
have
sure.
seen 10-foot-tall kangaroos, 23-foot-long goanna lizards, and ducks the size of an adult horse.
Dang.
Quack, quack. The largest living structure.
10-foot kangaroos. Just imagine if kangaroos can play basketball.
They'll be knocking you out for sure. They'll swing their tail.
They'll
They'll jump off
be
the...
dunking.
Yeah, they'll be flying through the air because them tails are strong.
On the
But a duck the size of a horse would be crazy. Whew.
planet is the Australian Great Barrier Reef. By the way, it has its own mailbox, and there's a rumor that the fish there use eel mail. Yeah. Neither kangaroos nor emus can walk backward. That's a fact. And that's why they're painted on the Australian coat of arms. Keep moving forward. The platypus, an egg-laying mammal that lives only in Australia, is one of the rare venomous mammals on this planet. Luckily, while the venom has an excruciatingly painful effect on people, it's not lethal. The takeaway? Don't fuss with a platypus. By the way, when the first platypus was brought to England, people there were sure that it was a joke. The English believed that Australians had sewn a duck's bill onto a rat's body to play a trick on them. Yeah, right up until he bit them.
Can you go back to see how a platypus looked?
That's what it kind of looked like, huh? A rat and a duck.
Yeah.
That's like
that
a
it was a
painting.
joke. The English.
That.
And then it looks like he has a sock on. Right? Can you see it?
That's crazy. I never seen one like that other picture just because it was a painting.
Where's the eyes?
It looked like it's behind that beak. It looked like they're right
I feel like
there.
I'm learning more about animals than...
They have a
That's
lot of
crazy.
different animals, though. I gotta show you that too. They got a lot of different animals.
Believe that
We definitely never seen. You can't even find them at our zoo.
Australians had sewn a duck's bill onto a rat's body to play a trick on them. Yeah, right up until he bit them. Not laughing now, are you? Swimming in the surf during the day had been illegal in Australia up until 1902. But after one guy calmly entered the waves of Manly Beach one afternoon that year, surf bathing became increasingly popular. The largest Greek population outside of Greece itself is in Australia. Actually, to be more precise, in Melbourne. More than 160,000 people who live there say they come from Greek descent.
Wow.
Melbourne was the richest city in the world in 1880. These days, Tokyo, Japan holds this title. And until 2018, Melbourne had been rated as the most livable city in the world for 7 years in a row.
I think they got a couple that's most livable.
Most livable.
Yeah, but it's actually Melbourne. That's how you pronounce it.
Oh, what? I
Yeah.
thought it was Melbourne.
No, Melbourne. That's the Australian way to say it. Melbourne.
Melbourne. I thought it was
Melbourne.
Melbourne.
They have Brisbane. It looked like Brisbane. I was saying Brisbane, but it's Brisbane.
That's funny.
Right there.
Melbourne.
Yeah, a little education right there. I'm able to give.
But then, it was bumped down to second place after Vienna, Austria. Come on, Melbourne, get back in the game.
What does that say?
One of Melbourne's founders was
What happened?
John.
What does that say? Vienna? Vienna?
Vienna.
Come on, Melbourne.
Vienna. How they say
It was bumped down to second
Vienna.
place after Vienna, Austria. Come on,
Vienna.
Melbourne, get back in the game. One of Melbourne's founders was John Batman. Yep, that was his real name. And get this, the city was temporarily called Batmania. Too bad they
Batmania.
decided to change it to Robinville? Nah. In 2018, Australia ranked third after Norway and Switzerland on the Human Development Index. This index is based on education, life expectancy, and citizens' income. Basically, they got a good thing going down under there. In 2005, security guards at the Parliament House in Canberra were prohibited from
Canberra.
calling people mate. But the
Wow.
ban only lasted for a day, mate. G'day.
Free mate.
If you're ever in Western Australia, you
Look
can
at
visit
that.
one of their many super salty pink lakes. They get the bubblegum hue from a certain type of algae and bacteria, and they're totally safe to swim in. Just be careful what you chew. Oh, and be sure to take a selfie while you're swimming in what looks like a giant pool of Pepto-Bismol. You can thank Australia for coming up with the word selfie in the first place.
Will you swim in a pink lake?
Yes, I would. That lake looked like it had glitter in it.
There are
Be
about
safe and
74
sound.
million sheep to 25 million people in Australia, which makes an impressive ratio of 3 to 1. Only China and India have more than that. Oh, and the kangaroo thing is totally true. There are twice as many kangaroos as there are people there. That's 50 to 25 million. Speaking of which,
Dang.
when a baby kangaroo is born, it's only half an inch long. It's also hairless and totally pink. Kind of looks like a gummy bear. What else is there in Australia? Oh, that's right, koalas. And to top that, there are 10 times more camels than koalas.
Camels.
Australia is the source of a lot of the Middle East's camels. Now, in Western Australia, it's against the law to be in possession of more than 110 pounds of potatoes. Well, every country has its obscure, bizarre laws. The architect of the world-famous Sydney Opera House got the idea of this unique construction while munching on an orange. If you combine all the sails of the building's roof, you'll get a perfect sphere. The most ancient fossils in the world were found in Australia. They were no less than 3.4 billion years old, even older than my leftovers in the fridge. There are so many different species in this country that only 25% of them have been discovered so far. Wow. Of the animals discovered to be native to Australia, none have hooves. Burger King miraculously...
That would be interesting to see. It's only 25% of animals. Just, I'm telling you, it's a lot out there. I think the other, I wouldn't say the whole 75%, but probably another 25 is under the ocean. Yeah. Probably up in that ocean.
To Australia, none have hooves. Burger King miraculously turns into Hungry Jack's soon as you land in Australia. It's the Aussie franchise of the famous fast food chain. Australia is a unique continent that doesn't house any active volcanoes. It's also the flattest continent on our planet. But it's got plenty of mountains, and one of them is called Mount Disappointment. It's just 2,600 feet tall, and naturally, explorers William Hovell and Hamilton Hume expected to see a great view from the top. However, after climbing the mountain, they discovered that there were too many trees growing on top and blocking the view completely. Guess how the men felt? Australia has tons of unique flora and fauna species that you won't find anywhere else in the world. Among those are a staggering 1,500 spider species.
Oh, you need to see they got this huntsman spider. It's about that big. It's a huge spider.
Wow.
On the bright side, and we are, while some of them are fatally poisonous, most are completely harmless. But how do I tell them apart? Oh, the poisonous ones wear signs. Got it. It's also where you'll find 21 of the world's top 25 most venomous snakes. More than 90% of Australia is covered with some kind of vegetation. Since 1988, Australia has had a national floral emblem, and it's the golden wattle. When this plant blooms, it gets covered with the country's national colors, green and gold. Australia is a multinational country, with more than 200 different languages and dialects spoken there. The most popular non-English languages are Mandarin, Greek, Arabic, Vietnamese, and Cantonese. There are 19 UNESCO World Heritage Sites in Australia, including 12 natural sites, 3 cultural sites, and 4 mixed sites. The difference between Australia's total length and its width is only 200 miles. Hey, do you have an 8-hour working day? You can thank Australian stonemasons for that. In 1865, they demanded to make 8-hour shifts the standard, and it spread throughout the world from there. With 8 people per square mile.
8 hours.
I mean, some people still work like 10, 12 hours.
And that's just one job. Down here, you got most people making a living off of 2 or 3 jobs. Yeah. But that 8 hours, maybe a 30-minute lunch break. 30 minutes, you can just thinking about what you want for lunch. And
Australia has an extremely low population density. For comparison, there are about 93 people per square mile in the U.S. The national Australian airline, Qantas, uses recycled cooking oil to power its interstate flights. So, have I missed any cool facts about Australia? Let me know down in the comments. If you learned something new today, then give this video a like and share it with a friend. But hey, don't go waltzing Matilda just yet. We have over 2,000 cool videos for you to check out. All you have to do is pick the left or...
No,
I like that video because it was like educational and like funny.
Yeah. Most times you can tell when it's not like a robot or AI saying, doing the voiceover and stuff. But this was good. Hopefully that was just a little bit.
Is there anything that stuck out to you?
Not really, because I know a little bit more.
Yeah.
So, what about you? Think there was?
I didn't know kangaroos were that tall.
Kangaroo. No, I think it was talking about back in that time, but they are big.
Yeah.
Like we seen in that last video. Those things are huge, or they can be huge. I seen one, that thing looked like it was on steroids. Have you seen that one?
No, probably not.
I'm gonna have to show you that one. That thing, it looked like Mike Tyson, kangaroo form. It was crazy. But that's all we have. Y'all make sure y'all send down some recommendations so we can check out some more of Australia. But that's all we have. Y'all be blessed, be the best, and be you. We out.